What do you mean when you ask us to think together? Do you intend that everybody who listens to you should think with you at the same time? Don't you think this is acting as a guru, leading people to follow your ideas, thoughts, and conclusions? This rather bore. What do you mean when you ask us to think together? Do you intend that everybody who listens to you should think with you at the same time? Don't you think this is acting as a guru, leading people to follow your ideas, thoughts, and conclusions? I wish you had never heard the word guru. That's a discredited word. You don't know what it means. I believe the true meaning is one who dispels ignorance, not adds the guru's ignorance to you. You understand? But one who dispels ignorance. Not the ignorance of books, but the man who is unknowing himself acts. That's the meaning of the word guru. And it has got other meaning too, which we won't go into. But and there have always been Western gurus from the ancient times. Understand? The priest, acting between you, whatever he calls God, or the Savior. This has also existed in India. And the questioner says, when the speaker asks to think together, are you not setting up yourself as a guru? So let us examine what it means to think together when the speaker says, think together. He very carefully explained each time that it is not accepting what the speaker is saying. It's not agreeing. It's not to accept the ideas, the conclusions which he may have. The speaker, in fact, has no conclusions. But he says, think together in the sense, let's both of us observe together. Observe, and let's find out what it means to observe. That doesn't give him any authority. You can make him into an authority, which would be unfortunate, but he doesn't accept any authority, or have any authority, or denies any kind of following, disciples. If he is accepting conclusions, ideals and so on, have those, and is accepting disciples, then he is in a state of corruption. Whoever it is. And I for the last 60 years, I've been saying this. So please don't make me into a guru, and I won't accept you as your disciple. Because the disciple destroys the guru destroys the pupil. Yes, swallow that pill. So there is no sense of authority in this. And when he says think together, it's very simple. If I am prejudiced, if I am all kinds of nauseating, compulsive, neurotic conclusions, and I say, let's think, which means I want to force it on you. But he says constantly, together, which means share together what we are observing, out there and in here. That's all. And this desire this longing for somebody to tell us. That is the root of it. Somebody to tell us how to live, how to love, how to think. That is, education has been how to think. You must think this way. And most of us, unfortunately, young and old, long for some shelter. The more romantic, the more pleasurable, the more satisfying, the better it is. Apparently, we seem to be incapable of standing alone. You know, that word alone means all one. When you are really alone, not contaminated, not corrupt because you attach to something, then you are alone because being free, you are that whole human entity, human world. But we are frightened to be alone. We always want to be with somebody, either with a person or with an idea, an image. You know what it means to be alone? It is not solitude, which is necessary. It has its own beauty. To walk alone in the woods, to walk alone along the river, not in hand with somebody or other, but to be alone, solitude, which is different from aloneness. If you are walking by yourself, you are watching the sky, the trees, the birds, the flowers, and all the beauty of the earth. And also perhaps you're also watching yourself. As you casually watch the woods and the trees and the flowers, you're also casually watching yourself as you're walking along. Not having a dialogue with yourself. Not carrying your burdens with you, you've left those at your home. So solitude reveals your loneliness, your vanity, your sense of depression, and so on, so on. And when you have finished with solitude, there is the other, which is not a conclusion, which is not a belief, which is not doing propaganda, telling you what it means to look. That's not propaganda. That's not pushing you in any direction. Because when you are directed, when you are guided, then you become a slave. And therefore you lose totally freedom from the very beginning. Freedom isn't at the end, at the beginning. Contrary to the communists say, that freedom can only be given to the disciplined, who know how to live and so on. They are the dictators to tell us how to live, as the gurus and so on do. So we become their slaves. And where there is no freedom, there is no love and truth.